Should a cocktail be shaken or stirred? Should I use ice made in my freezer's ice maker? Why is clear ice a thing? And does ice have to be made out of water?
Moisture is the essence of wetness. And wetness is the essence of beauty.
Happy hour. I'm Dave, the basement bartender. Water is an integral part of any cocktail. The word cocktail was defined in 1806 by Harry Croswell as spirit, sugar, water, and bitters.
And that's what I call high quality H2O.
But is the method I use to dilute really that important? Let's get this thing started. Mixologists don't typically add water in liquid form to cocktails. Instead, ice is used to both chill and dilute. As liquid intelligence author David Arnold says, there is no chilling without dilution. There is no dilution without chilling. Shaking a cocktail over ice is the fastest way to both chill and dilute. However, shaking can lead to over-diluting.
Usually I take it neat, but I will make an exception in the name of health.
So when should I shake a cocktail? Cocktails incorporating juices, dairy, eggs, fruit preserves, or other thick mixers generally should be shaken rather than stirred. The reason is to fully integrate the ingredients throughout the drink. If you stir a cocktail with egg, you probably won't get a rich frothy foam. You'll wind up with thick globs of egg white.
Free goo.
Shaking can also balance a really strong ingredient, since a lot of fruit juices are concentrated in flavor. Shaking cocktails with a large amount of fruit juice can help make the drink feel more cohesive. The same method can be used when using spirits proofed at 120 or higher. Generally speaking, shake for 15 to 20 seconds over ice. Egg cocktails should be shaken dry without ice for about 30 seconds first. Then add your ice and give it the standard wet shake. If your cocktail only includes spirits or light mixers, then stirring is a more gentle technique. Stirring for 30 seconds will offer less dilution than shaking for 15. It combines the ingredients in a much more delicate way, which will typically result in a less cloudy cocktail compared to shaking. It's also thought that shaking can bruise spirits like gin and whiskey, though I'm not really sure what would get bruised in a spirit.
Ow! Son of a nutcracker!
I think stirring results in a silkier mouthfeel, since there's less dilution to thin out the sweetening agents in the drink. And at least in my opinion, that's a more desirable characteristic for a booze-heavy drink. Now, whether shaken or stirred, recipes generally call to strain the mixture over fresh ice, rather than free pouring ice and all into the glass. This is to slow down any further dilution. Fresh ice is cold ice, which doesn't melt as fast.
This is the best day of my life, and quite possibly the last.
While larger ice blocks or spheres generally result in less dilution, this isn't always the case. The more ice surface area that is exposed to air, the faster the ice will melt. You generally want ice size so it is completely covered by liquid. If you really want your ice to melt slower, use clear ice. Clear ice has less oxygen bubbles and mineral content compared to ice with a cloudy or opaque look. There are a lot of expensive tools to help you acquire clear ice, but I find the best value for the result is a small hard-shelled cooler available at most big box stores for around $10. Remove the lid from the cooler and fill with water. While I generally recommend using filtered water, there's no need to boil it or use distilled water when using this method. Place in a freezer for 24 hours. The time limit may vary depending on the size and temperature of your freezer, but the goal is to only freeze 3/4 of the water in the cooler. Water in a single layer plastic or silicone mold will freeze from all directions. However, in an insulated cooler with no lid, the temperature will be coldest above the water. Thus, the freezing will move downward. This unidirectional freezing method will push any minerals and oxygen bubbles to the bottom of the cooler, which we're not going to allow to freeze. Remove the partially frozen block from the cooler, make a small hole in the unfrozen section, and remove all the water impurities that remain. We're left with a clear block of ice. This can be cut and shaped with a serrated knife. I find that scoring and using an ice mallet to break apart the ice is effective. What if I don't want to use water for my cocktail dilution? Water is an important ingredient, so I can't just substitute it for anything. I want an ingredient that has a high water content, but maybe a little more flavor. Coconut water. Coconut water is mostly water, adds a little flavor, but doesn't add too much sweetness or acid. Simply freeze coconut water in an ice mold and make a cocktail. I'm gonna make a coconut tequila smash by combining 2.5 ounces of Tequila Anejo, 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice, 1/4 ounce of fresh lime juice, 1.5 ounces of maple syrup, 2 dashes of orange bitters, 8 to 10 mint leaves, 4 cubes of coconut water ice, and shake for 30 seconds. Since I'm using frozen coconut water, I want a little more dilution than normal, hence the longer shaking time. The coconut ice will chill, dilute with flavor, and agitate my mint leaves, releasing oil. And while the smash is usually free poured into a glass, including the ice and herbs, I like to double strain over fresh coconut ice for a cleaner presentation. Plus, this way I don't have to pick mint leaves out of my tea. Garnish with a lime wheel and enjoy. In this case, we get triple duty from our ice. It chills, it dilutes, and it enhances flavor as it melts, but it doesn't make julienne fries, evolving the drink into something completely different from where it started. If you like this video, please let me know by booping the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments how you're gonna change up the dilution in your drink. Please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time.